You know, there's a plague infecting our writing. It's this silent, subtle thing, and it's turning our sentences from lively and energetic into these lumbering, undead things. So in this explainer, we're going to hunt them down, and we're going to learn how to fight back. Want to see this plague in action? Just look at this wild experiment by George Orwell. On the right, you've got this powerful, direct verse from the Bible. I mean, it's full of life, right? And on the left, that's Orwell's translation of it into modern bureaucratic English. It says the exact same thing, but it's just, well, it's lifeless. It's been infected. So what is going on here? What's the real difference? What is this pathogen that can drain all the life out of our words, leaving them feeling so clumsy and weak? Well, that is the mystery we are about to solve. The culprit actually has a name, and honestly, it's a pretty fitting one. Welcome to the zombie noun plague. A zombie noun, or if you want to get technical, a nominalization, is basically a verb or an adjective that's been mutated into a noun. The author Helen Sword puts it perfectly. She says they cannibalize active verbs and suck the lifeblood from adjectives, turning living, breathing actions into these static, abstract things. And you can see just how simple this transformation is. You take an active verb, like discuss, and boom, it becomes the static noun, discussion. The action, move, becomes the abstract concept of movement. The life is literally being drained away one word at a time. So how do you actually spot these creatures in your own writing?
Well, luckily for us, they often wear a uniform.
These right here are the telltale signs. Suffixes like tion, meant, and ity are huge red flags. When you see these at the end of a word, it's time to look a little closer, because a zombie is probably lurking nearby.
Okay, so now that we know how to identify the enemy, it is time to gear up. This is your survival guide for the zombie noun apocalypse.
And the plan is simple, just 3 steps. First, you spot the zombie, using those suffixes we just talked about. Second, you find the living verb that's trapped inside it. And third, you rewrite the sentence to bring that verb back to life. Let's see it in action. Okay, look at this. There was an investigation. Ugh, that zombie noun investigation forces us to use that super weak verb was. Let's reanimate it. The real verb is investigate. So, the team investigated. Boom, shorter, stronger, and so much clearer. Here's another one. Reached the conclusion. I mean, why use 2 words when one powerful word will do the job? The verb hiding inside conclusion is conclude, so just use it. Management has concluded. It really is that simple. Just swap a weak phrase for a strong verb. And again, instead of provided analysis, we just say analyzed. You can almost feel the energy snapping back into the sentence, right? It's more direct, it's more confident. You're not talking about the action, you're showing the action. So why does all this matter? I mean, is this just about sounding a little better? Nope. Killing these zombies has real, measurable benefits. Get this. In one study, simply reviving buried verbs cut the word count by an average of 39%. That's not just trimming the fat. That's making your writing more muscular, more efficient. This says it all, really. When you use fewer, stronger words, each one carries so much more weight. It gives you more impact. I mean, the world after the zombie apocalypse is just a better place for your writing. It becomes more direct, it's easier to follow, because your reader can clearly see who is doing what, and honestly, it makes you sound way more decisive and confident. Now, before you go on a total zombie killing spree, there is a twist. Sometimes, and I mean just sometimes, you might need a zombie on your side. Yeah, nominalizations can actually be useful tools. If you're discussing a complex, abstract idea like intelligence, you kind of need that noun. Or if you want to emphasize a result, like in the sentence, the distribution of the pizzas was fair. A nominalization puts the focus on the distribution itself, not on who handed out the pizzas. The key is to use them strategically, not habitually. So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? Well, it really comes down to choosing action over abstraction. Helen Sword said it perfectly. You want your sentences to live, not to join the living dead. Your goal as a writer is to communicate, to energize, to move your reader. And you just can't do that with sentences that have had all the life drained out of them. So here's a challenge for you right now. Open up the last email you sent. Hunt for those zombie nouns, those tations, ments, and ances. How many can you find? And more importantly, How many can you kill?